matchup?
Edwin's pretty good at most matchups. Honestly, he's pretty good at dealing with, like, especially the more uncommon characters. Considering he plays at least one of them himself, depending on how common you consider Mega Man or not. I'm talking about Pac-Man as the uncommon one.
Even here in New York, it's not that uncommon.
Oh yeah, but nevertheless, I don't know. That being said, I have no idea what Devin's matchup knowledge of Sonic is, at least not in this game.
Auto-cancel down air seems to be a feature of Devin's Kirby. I've noticed not a lot of other Kirbys utilize.
The startup auto-cancel, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a nest tactic. I know that pretty much all Kirbys do it out of their forward throw. I'm not sure if there's actually a purpose to that. Maybe it just makes the fastfall easier. If you use smash stick, it may be a way of buffering fastfall.
Wait, which move? Down air?
Out of the forward
It's
throw.
called hop canceling.
Yes.
And it will completely remove landing lag, yes.
It's pretty neat.
But is it, what's the purpose of doing that out of the forward throw as opposed to...
It lets him fastball back to the ground without having fastball landing lag.
No, we talked about this once in a Twitch chat. If you auto-cancel, you also get hard landing lag.
We don't.
Yes, you do.
Not as Kirby, apparently.
No, well,
Kirby doesn't like the rules.
you definitely get it. That's the way the game goes.
I mean, you can move out of it directly, so I don't know. Maybe it doesn't apply to him.
That would
Because
be
he can
interesting.
definitely isn't subject to it in that situation.
Yeah, it's just like 4 frames. You wouldn't see it.
And in that window, we see that Kirby is able to, maneuver himself well around Sonic. It's certainly helping Devin in this matchup as the percentage sit in his favor, but...
Yeah, but considering the percents that Kirby dies at, hard to say this is even in his favor. And as you see right there, taking the stock.
The slow walk up. Kirby's not exactly the most threatening character to just walk up with.
Well, his back air is pretty threatening, though. Taking that stock right away. Pretty even game right now. Edwin getting a lot of these spin dash up airs seems to be a reliable combo at low percent on Kirby. Maybe on every character. Sorry, I don't really know Sonic follow-ups.
And that jab at the ledge not really working out for Devin, just because Edwin already knows what he needs to do to return himself to ledge safely. Considering the characters that he plays, I would assume he's very familiar with the various options at the ledge, getting himself back into neutral.
Devin doing a lot of things with this advantage state that he had there. Unsafe nair, maybe looking for an auto cancel? I'm not sure. Oh, okay.
Okay.
That was a late hit of down smash, apparently, because that did like nothing. That move is really strong when you get the early hit. I didn't know it had a late hit, but yeah, it had to be that. Still, though, Devin pretty much at kill percent, probably to back air near the blast zone. Forward smash probably will also take the stock. Okay,
And
really
the pivot,
nice.
I like that.
It's a good reaction. I think he might have even considered like going for a back air if Edwin rolled in, or rolled, towards where Devin was running. Yeah, that jab is stuffing him out. Edwin doesn't seem really familiar with the way to stop it. I guess he was calling him out on ending the jab, but, Devin's going to just hold that until he does the spin dash.
It's not like Devin has anything better to do while just threatening that space in front of Edwin. Kirby can't
Oh,
really
up throw. It's
approach.
going to kill. If Devin does an up throw, it kills. He knows the percents extremely well.
On top of that, that was at the very edge, so... like,
Yeah, but I don't think it killed him off the side, did it?
it was in that corner blast zone. Like, Edwin recognized how he had to DI it.
Yeah.
And has to DI it away, so he's threatening even more of that
Oh,
space.
that's always definitely a scary situation because you can die to things in a matter like that where you wouldn't have died off the top. But since you have to DI it towards the blast zone to not die off the top, you can die off the side.
Yeah,
that was
literally
like
no way he was going to survive that.
yeah.
He was done skis.
All right, immediately switching to the Pac-Man. We've got 2 orbs duking it out here.
Now, I know most Kirbys aren't that big a fan of using the copy abilities, but I would love to see how Devin makes use of bonus fruits.
I've actually never seen a Kirby do that before. Like, I mean, I haven't seen the matchup. Does Kirby get like all the same fruits, like same
Yep.
properties? Are they buffed or nerfed in any way in comparison to Pac-Man?
Nope.
Really?
The items themselves have the same properties as Pac-Man. It's not like how with the Chic Hat, where the needles are slightly better for
Yeah.
Kirby. It's same bonus fruits. However, it's access to those bonus fruits and having
Well,
two
yeah.
of them live at the same time.
Also, bonus routes aren't subject to scaling, so it actually gives Kirby a really good way to just build damage.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, every like throwable item is does not stale in this game. So. Okay.
No.
That was interesting.
Oh, Kirby's free fall animation is the
Where he has his, like, his hands up,
Yeah,
I
he's
think?
got the
Yeah.
long fall animation from the Kirby games. It's adorable. See, that's the item I feel is going to be a big deal for Kirby if
he gets the bell.
Yeah. Even if it's not his own bonus fruit, if he manages to take it from Edwin, the bell bonus fruit allowing Kirby to confirm into some of the less reliable kill options would be a godsend for Deven.
That was beautiful ledge play by Edwin. He covered pretty much the standard get up attack / jump position with the bell, and then punished the roll with back throw, which unfortunately for him did not take the stock yet. But Pac-Man does actually have a fairly strong back throw. It's just that his grab game, or his grab itself, is so terrible that you rarely get to see him use it. However, for a character that's default counterplay is hold shield, he can afford to get grabs in certain situations, but he has to be very cognizant of how pressured a player feels, because his grab is actually somewhat reactable.
I wouldn't go in for a bit of a unorthodox recovery, but that's sort of Pac-Man's claim to fame.
Okay, see, he did that with the intention of covering himself with the hydrant, but it didn't work. So yeah.
See, Sinji does that a lot more reliably because he uses a move that keeps it within the range during the active hitbox of the fire hydrant through the entirety of the grab.
Also, Kirby being so short, he's less threatened by the position of the hydrant, so didn't just quite work out. But it was definitely, you know, a potentially useful tactic. I like that. Hits him into the Galaxian. I'm not sure how much damage that added. Okay, forward smash and the hydrant. Or perhaps it was just the hydrant that hit him, but nevertheless. That was so smart from Deven, using the fruit to clank with the hydrant and keeping himself a free recovery. I just realized, you know, Kirby typically has to recover fairly horizontally, and the apple a day, it keeps the Kirby away.
All right,
Going
now,
to game 3.
I hate you.
my question is, are we going to see the run back? Or is Deven going to switch to his Rosalina? Because I feel like that's going to make things a little bit easier for him.
Yeah, Rosalina is like a notable counterpick to Pac-Man, I've heard, but I've also heard that Pac-Mans who are familiar with the matchup do really get well against pocket Rosalinas. Now, that being said, I'm not sure how much of a pocket Deven's Rosalina is. I know at some point he was maybe just considering actually maining the character, but his Rosalina is definitely solid.
Yeah.
And we're going right into game 3. Looks like we're going to have the same matchup. That last game was fairly close, if I recall. Was the end
It was
game?
close enough.
Yeah, they were both last stock, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there we see that upbeat coming in. Actually, potentially tied for the fastest out-of-shield option in the game, because the spring is active on frame 1.
Yes.
Or the trampoline, I should say. Okay, gonna see an up tilt here.
Just basic little strings, trying to rack up and keep the damage tied until it gets into that that kill percentage.
That juicy kill percentage. All right, jab clanking with, was that up tilt or F tilt? I forget. Footsies.
That tilt from both of these characters is rather lackluster. They just put the foot out.
I believe Kirby's is fairly safe. I don't know about Pac-Man's.
It's not terrible. One thing I'd like to point out about the fire hydrant, it's a factor of it most people don't recognize, but even when it's just sitting there, chilling, waiting to throw out water, there's an active hitbox on it. It's just, it doesn't register as a hit. You'll notice that Deven walks up to it to shield it, ready for the water, and it's constantly active. There's a fun
Smash
one
going
about
to take that stock. It is. Also, the water from the hydrant, shielding does not prevent it from pushing you backward, as opposed to certain other wind boxes / water boxes. I don't really know if there's a difference, but I know that Mario Flood, at least in my experience, if you shield before the flood comes out, it will not push you back. Whereas Pac-Man's water from his hydrant always pushes you back, even if you're in shield, which can make it quite annoying if you have stage control. You're not going to be able to keep it very easily. Beautiful
Excellent
DI, yeah.
Look at that.
All right.
Edwin safely getting himself back to stage, but he eats a nair for his efforts. The Z drops apple, sending Edwin way back up.
Now, if Edwin finds his way back on stage, he should try and just, you know, fade back, hold position, put up hydrant, but he's going to try and edge guard. I mean, it is an advantageous position, so I don't blame him, but at the same time, he has the lead, he wants to hold it, or he should want to hold it and get as much damage as possible. Lucky for him, gets hit by the sour spot or potentially late hit of that back air, which would have certainly sealed the stock if it was the earlier hit. Ooh, interesting use of the up B actually on the hydrant. All right, Key, safe pressure. Up throw, gonna do it.
Yeah, he's gone. Now sitting at 58%, Devin's going to have to be rather explosive in this last stock of his, because the percentages can build up quickly with Pac-Man, and Pac-Man has plenty of kill options. Certainly not a character to be slept on.
Okay, very smart to go to ledge. If he had landed on the last trampoline, he would have been in special fall. And I feel like there's landing lag when Pac-Man lands, or when you land from that. I'm not 100% sure, but certainly the duration of time from the tramp to the ground would have been completely vulnerable.
There's all a clever ruse.
Okay, these down tilts stuffing out Edwin. Edwin getting a little antsy here. What? Did the fruit that he was holding while he charged it clank with the hydrant?
Yes.
I didn't even know there was like any kind of interaction that could happen while the fruit was being charged.
The fruit's a hitbox.
The fruit is a hitbox, and if you manage
Sorry,
to...
it's a hurt box.
Well,
A hurt box, okay.
it's a hurt box. And if it does get hit, I believe it's either
very-
2 times or within a certain percentile threshold, you knock it out of Pac-Man's hands.
Really?
Yes.
And it just like kind of lands on stage, or
Yep.
does he?
It's just an active item right below him. So, at best, it's good for just leaving Pac-Man in like a tiny bit of hit stun, but then also you cause a bonus fruit to be active on the stage that Pac-Man may not have wanted. Say, for instance, Strawberry or Galaxian at a high percentage, because while the Galaxian ship is rather phenomenal as a part of Pac-Man's kit, not really that great once you get past 100% because it doesn't really combo well.
All right, so this is actually a really tense situation here. We've seen neither player really wants to commit to anything, as they shouldn't, given their percents and the situation. We got, what, 1 minute and 40 seconds on the clock. I don't expect a timeout, but it's certainly very possible. Edwin in the lead now, but unfortunately fades in a little too much up throw. I'm surprised. I lied. I thought Devin only goes for a kill percent, perhaps hoping on some missed DI from Edwin to take the stock. Not much to lose by going for the up throw there, besides for a bit of staling. Which actually could be crucial, but I think that the damage that he attained from that throw is enough to put him at up throw kill percent at this point, even considering the staling. Why would you roll in? All right.
Like back throw might be the kill
Okay,
option,
just
but
off the
500
hydrant.
on his head.
I say Pac-Man has the advantage in this situation, just because he has so many things that he can throw at Kirby and so many safe things, but he's spacing a lot of back airs. Okay, Key's gonna
Cover
take
the roll
it.
with the key.
Very
Man.
solid play from both players. Edwin taking the set. I guess he found his key to victory. And on that note, do we have somebody else to swap in for me?
No, you're stuck here because of that one. Ooh, that was gross. Yep.
I think that's why he was being careful about just spamming throwing things, because the last time it happened, he got shielded and grabbed and came really close to dying.
I actually really like the use of key at these danger percentages just because its existence threat